go. As famous dungeon master, the little drummer boy once said.
That might be the first time we've gone live when a tech has said, "Oh no."
At least live. It's not the first time we've gone live. Like 5 minutes beforehand, Paul's like, no.
And I know that was basically his catchphrase.
Yeah. Oh no. Well, I do the thing. It wasn't good.
That's Wes intervene. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. I think you might have stalled for me because I didn't hear a thing. I didn't mean to cut across. I apologize.
Apology not accepted. As famed dungeon master, the little drummer boy once said, "Roll, I told ye, pa-rum pum pum pum. An NPC's upset, pa-rum pum pum pum. Initiative we need, pa-rum pum pum pum. Prepare your turn now, please, pa-rum pum pum pum. Rum pum pum pum. Rum pum pum pum." Hey, welcome to Homebrew, the show where we avoid the crushing dullness of everyday life using our two favorite forms of escapism, alcohol and Dungeons and Dragons. That's right, it's a tipsy tabletop show. We drink and we roll dice and we hang out at each other and we get sidetracked by literally with everything going on in the world. This is the only chance we get to hang out more often than not. So we get sidetracked by each other. But if this is your first time watching, we'll be using the beer names, the drinks, the cocktails, the alcohol, the non-alcoholic drinks to inspire the world around us as we play. So if someone was drinking something called Fireball whiskey, they can cast a fireball with it without spending spell slots and using their sheets. We underuse this very OP mechanic all the time to the annoyance of all of us. But if you are drinking in the chat, we can also use your drinks. So let us know what you're drinking in the sidebar. And if you're watching this after the fact, we like to find new beers and drinks and stuff. So let us know what you're drinking in the chat below. I can see after dissing my own intro, the chat are telling me that's better than usual, which only shows the quality of what I do.
It was interesting. The last line, you got into an excellent passive aggressive tendency, which was different to usually you keep them nice and peppy, but I like that you really ended it there.
With players preparing their turn in advance of their turn. Yeah.
I like how it got mean at the end.
Some of Ben's true self shot.
Yeah. It's good to see.
Honestly, for me, I mean, I know I'm not the most vocal supporter of the opening bits, but nothing's beaten Spandau Ballet for me. That was my favorite one. Yeah. I forget which episode it was, but that was a good one.
I just kept saying gold, I think.
Yeah. Maybe you think that we were going to find a treasure chest or something, I guess. I don't
know. Asking for support is weird, but it is the time of giving and receiving. So we'd love to keep this show growing. If you're watching for the first time or the manyth time, please do go follow us on the social channels. At the moment, you don't know why, because you haven't seen us do anything yet. But trust us, it's good. It's good over there. We're at Homebrew Quest pretty much across everything. If you already follow, tell a friend. Now is a perfect time if you want to gossip and theorize about the show to get a friend into it. Hook them on it. Wheel of Time, more like Wheel of Wine. The Witcher, more like the switcher to this show. And I don't have a third.
They almost play the Wheel of Wine in Australia as a game. That's isn't it the Wheel of Goon or something like that?
Oh, Goon is it's the bags of wine.
It's the bags of wine. They clotheslines. You stick a bag on and you spin the clothesline. And everyone's standing around, and where it stops, whoever has to drink out of it. That's how I understand it. And maybe
that's an excellent game.
Yeah,
that's great.
I think it's called Wheel of Goon, but not being Australian, I have no idea.
Everything made up anyway.
If we ever LARP this show, we need to have one of them as the way to roll the dice.
Oh yeah,
ooh, that'd be interesting.
What do you reckon your average clothesline is? Like a D4, D8? Depends how many prongs it has.
yeah, I suppose so. D12?
Yeah, 12 prongs. That's a fancy.
I was thinking of it like an umbrella. Anyway, we should probably continue the show. As I get distracted instantly. I should say, it is the time of giving and it is the time of receiving and it is a wonderful time of year. So, if you've already done all those things, followed us on socials, found friends, told friends about this, why not go check out some of the other awesome Irish tabletop role-playing groups out there. You can check out Romancing the Dungeon and Rise of the Forsaken. You'll find them at D8 Dungeon. Irish Podcast Play D&D have their first campaign up, their second campaign starting soon. And the Sufferon Saga is run by Dave, Dave, I didn't pronounce the first part of your Twitter handle because I don't know how to, but that's over on Penny Dragon Games. So you know, Dave, you know where to find them. We haven't. I didn't. The clothesline thing has really. We haven't introduced our beers. That's the bit we normally do. Let's go around the table.
Will I buy time for you by or seeing if our audience caught the Wheel of Time Homebrew crossover last week? It's not a spoiler if anyone's watching Wheel of Time. First of all, it's great. Watch it. It's really good. A character that was recently introduced, if anyone's up to date, was basically Arlington.
Oh yeah.
He has the exact same voice. I'm like, if I ever cosplay him, I'm gonna have to just copy what you've got here, like the hands and stuff. But he's, yeah.
I wondered why he was so likable and familiar.
Yeah, I was saying, I was like, oh, I love this guy or whatever. And I was like, as I was explaining things I liked, I'm like, fuck, he's the character I made in D&D. That's why I like him so much. Yeah. So basically, we made a cameo, and we'll be having the cast of Wheel of Time on after Christmas.
Yes, yeah. We'll have them all. We'll have Rosamund and the others.
I mean, it'll be them, but they'll have been reincarnated. It'll look like other people, but it'll be.
Man, imagine if we get Rosamund Pike to do a guest episode of as Rua. That would be unreal.
I'd do it. Yeah. I'm not.
I mean, yeah, of course no one would say no.
You know what? Actually, I'm putting my foot down. No, thank you. Not on the drinking. Just your first drinks, and we'll get into the rest in the adventure.
Really name anyone after Guinness because a very important character in this world, Guinness the Dragon, exists, and we're all terrified of him. Yeah, that's me. That's me, Guinness for the night.
Oh, what do you want?
I am just drinking regular old Coke.
I like to introduce them to some new cool breweries and flavors. I kind of wish now that I had like my Carlsberg or Peroni or something. I'm going to probably have some lovely Copperberg gin, and I have
I nailed it.
Okay, we should be back. Thank you for bearing with us. Whether it is a mix of there being a storm in Ireland right now, or potentially maybe just some some relationship issues between OBS and YouTube. We don't want to get involved. But we're going to give this one more try. And if it does drop for you again watching live, we will do a quick little figure out. We might, depending on how it all goes, especially for the VOD experience, figure out real quickly, take our time, and then just like blast through. No break final stream. that's what we call it. And then our players can come and go. It's always an open table policy anyway. But just so you guys know that there wouldn't be a, go get yourself some tea. I presume you don't sit in front of your laptop and wait for us to tell you to use the bathroom. And if you do, you are free now. You have permission to pee. We were just about to finish our round of beers. Keelan, what are you drinking?
I am drinking a Dot Brew, Dot Wild, 4-year-old barrel-aged raspberry. I bought it especially for the stream, just to treat myself for the final show. It's pricey enough. I think it was like 10, 15 quid. But 7.2%, and it's gorgeous. I've almost drank all of it over the course of our problems, and I regret not having bought more than one.
There's plenty of show and plenty of opportunity left to drink more, but not more of that, unfortunately. Finally, what I am drinking, I went out especially for this episode to a brewery called Black Donkey. I believe that's what they're called. I should check that before I'm almost certain it's Black Donkey. Yeah, Black Donkey Brewery. They have a beer called Underworld. They've got 3 on this range. There's Underworld Savage, Underworld Alta, and Underworld Rua, which is a perfect fun story about this beer. This daughter? No. Fun story about this beer. This beer is made from wild yeast. The yeast they got for this beer, they went to a cave in Roscommon called On the Gat, the Cave of the Cats, and they scraped yeast off the wall. They put it in, they well fermented it. And funny thing about that cave is rumored to be in Ireland, the entrance to the underworld.
Huh.
So, pretty nifty beer fact.
Did you know that before or after everything that's happened the last couple of weeks in the campaign?
I knew about the cave, but not the beer.
Oh, cool.
And usually it's the other way around for me. So, without further ado, Lucy, I know you have announcements. I will give you space in the middle of the episode. Hold on to those announcements.
Sounds like I'm pregnant or engaged. It's not. It's a show.
Let's crack into our adventure. Let's roll some dice. Let's play some D&D. Quick content warning and trigger warning before this episode begins. We are in the middle of Lucy's character Iggy, her kind of backstory, which has themes of like family bereavement, loss, death, suicidal ideation, all the fun stuff. Basically, all the fun stuff. So if they are issues that we honestly shouldn't be laughing about, but that will give you an indication of how badly we will handle them. So warnings in advance. But if everyone else is feeling good, we're ready to play. Grab yourself a chair, pull up a seat, as we dive into a world where anything is possible, but not always probable. Welcome back to the realm of Hibernia. And imagine, if you will, a mysterious land, far, far away from the Hibernia we call home. Imagine a mysterious place known only as Roscommon. Deep in the heart of this place lies a cave known as On the Gat, the Cave of Cruachan, or the Cave of Cats, said to be the birthplace of Queen Maeve and home to the Morrigan. Those familiar with the phrase to hell or to Connacht might bring to mind images of this desolate wasteland, but little do we know, hell and Connacht are one and the same. For the Cave of Cats is also the mouth to the underworld. A mythological place where you might find hellish beasts emerge and come to play in our world. But that was there. And this is here, where we find 4 sexy, sexy adventurers taking a rest in a town on the edge of the world. A town that, unlike Roscommon, didn't vote against the marriage referendum. A town with its very own entrance to hell. Its very own the Gat. We wake up in the morning. You guys all had a long rest. You're fully rested. You have, most of you, Iggy discluded, have lost a little sliver of your soul to the Morrigan. You gave it to her. She stored it in a teapot, and you are now a little bit more protected when you make it to the Otherworld. In that, you can't fully die if all of you can't, transfer over to the other realm. So you're keeping a little bit of a save point, so to speak, in the material plane. As you wake up, Randir is already up. He's been busy. He's been kind of working through the night. Don't worry, Randir. Stat-wise, rest-wise, you're good. I'm not going to punish you for doing some off-stream character correction.
Cool.
And with his back turned to you, you can hear a kind of clinking and sloshing and bubbling. Randir, what do they see?
Yeah, I guess. So, Keggy is opened, and you see essentially just an absolute an unbelievable amount of like bottles and flasks and like magical Bunsen burner kind of like thing, like boiling like liquids and stuff like that. And in kind of a row, there's two potion bottles and then 6 potion bottles, all kind of in a container itself. And he's been working late nights to create 3 new special one of a kind potions for each of you. So I'm gonna go down the list. So this is a potion for Hook.
Okay.
It is called the Molotov Hook Tail. So this is I'll describe. It is a smoky translucent liquid, burns red with topaz sediment resting at the bottom.
Okay.
Which is and then the ability, when you cast a fire damage spell after drinking this potion, instead of rolling dice to determine the damage dealt, you can choose to use the highest number possible for each dice.
Ooh.
The effect ends after 1d4 rounds. For the duration, each fire spell cast instantly triggers a roll on the wild magic table.
Oh no.
Okay. This is a bit of chaos.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun.
Which is then the second potion bottle is called Randir is calling it I Meet a Hero. Which goes it is a frothy blue liquid, faintly glows, and it sparkles with amber shavings. Which goes, after drinking this potion, gain advantage on all attack rolls and +2 to weapon damage. Attacks against you also have advantage. The effects last for 1d4 rounds. During this time, you gain temporary invulnerability to damage. Any damage dealt to you is tallied up by the DM. This damage is instead dealt then instantly when the potion wears off. At this time, the DM rolls a 1d2, and on a fail, the damage taken is doubled.
Oh, nice. He's got the D2 ready. Well, I think Hook should have that one as well.
That is for Ardington.
What if he doesn't want it?
And then there's Randir's intoxicating bag of canvases. This is the 6 potions. They have to be drunk at once. When you drink this potion, so it doesn't take like a 6 turns or anything. It's just one. When you drink this potion, when you drink this potion, 6 ethereal canvases begin to float around you. By drawing on the canvases, you can choose to give yourself advantage or your enemies disadvantage. Beware, some of the canvases are faulty. Each time you use a canvas, the DM rolls a 1d6. On a 6, every ally within 30 feet of you gains disadvantage on their rolls. And that is, I'll describe the look of that.
Oh, sorry, I didn't add that in because Randir has these now in his D&D Beyond inventory, and I think you can swap things in your inventory as characters in the same campaign, so you might be able to add them.
Okay, because that'd be handy if we had those like to reference.
Yes, so if you look up, if you manage your inventory and go add item, Hook, if you just look up like Hooktail or Molotov, you should find it. If you look up Mead Hero, Arlington, you should find it. And if you look up a bag of canvases or Rander's intoxicating, even just the word intoxicating should come up. We know there's only one, so I don't mind if there's 3 in Rander's inventory and 1 each on yours.
Added.
Cool. So just for bag of canvases, the steaming, chunky substance that is burly with pink flashes. I'll also then tell you the I Meet a Hero. It smells and tastes like cherry honey mead. Bag of canvases. It smells and tastes like butterscotch beer, and the Molotov Hooktail. It smells like spice and spinach, but tastes like rum.
Yeah, I know.
That actually sounds delicious.
Spinach is an odd choice, but I'll go with it. Go with it. I think I mean, personally, I know it's my potion anyway, but I think my potion is the best. Because it's amazing and it has no negatives. There's no chance of me. I mean, I guess it's the wild table, but as we all know, that's just doubling down on a positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. It gives us chaos. Randir wasn't the only one busy at work. Given that it is the holiday season, eagle-eyed viewers might notice that I'm no longer drinking out of my wooden mug. I've got a new mug. And you might see that there's something on there. It says my name on the bottom.
Oh, cool, nice.
And it has a little... and I have made one for every character. So Randir, you will see that Randir is carved on this glass with the Homebrew logo. Some of you might have already known that. I probably let it slip when I was drunk as I was making them. They're quite nice to drink out of. And when we see each other next, I will give you your mug.
Yay. That's so cool. So nice.
So you now all have, after the end of our year of streaming, and what is 3 years, 2 years? So it's 56 episodes plus, your very own homebrew mug to drink out of.
Unreal.
Thank you so much.
A literal kind of benevolent DM. Very kind of you, Ben.
This is amazing.
Given our viewership, it would be possible to do that. And there's one for everyone in the audience, because what is that? A handful of extra mugs. But,
You could probably afford it. Yeah, it's okay.
yeah. Anything you'd like to do before, like, hit and play on this play-along DVD?
I think I'm ready to go.
I have to make poisons for Arlington, don't I?
Yes, yeah. So I just want you to roll a d20. That is essentially, I think we don't need to worry too much about what the poison's made of. I'm sure there's just some bad batch runoff or scum under the bottom of a keggy that you can kind of scrape off and know that it's going to be bad for you.
Cool. I got a 20.
Fuck, that's some potent poison. And so, potent. The poison that you get, Arlington, in this little jar that you can dip your darts into or fill the little injector with. 1, inflicts the poison condition on a DC save of, has to be pretty high because that's a 20, like 17.
Ooh, I like that.
And let's say it also deals like 1d4 damage every round until poison's removed, or 10 rounds. A minute passes for a minute. Yeah.
1d4 damage every round for a minute.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Sadly.
Now we just need to get into a combat encounter.
Can I still have one of those poison arrows?
Absolutely. Oh yes. How many do I get out of that? I think I had like 20 darts. Do I have enough for 20 darts?
Let's just say that as we get to like, I've played D&D.
Tell you what, I have 20 darts. How much poison? How many of them? Yeah, I tell you what, I have 20 darts. How many of them can I fill with poison?
You can roll a D20. Don't worry, it's not going to be the base number because that would be cruel.
Go. 3.
3.
Say 12.
12 was pretty good. So yeah, I'll give 1 to Ignatius. I have 11.
All right. You all set off. You fill your bellies full of food, breakfast. Bacchus, Iggy's dad, has put on quite the spread. And do you want a full Irish before going to hell? I probably would.
Arlington is having spent time with Tig again, he's used to having like a full fry every breakfast or whatever. So I think Arlington insists on it.
Yeah, Iggy is consuming everything in this sort of like my father's cooking to the point probably you should deal me like a point of exhaustion or something for the next week. I assume she's going to be like bloated or something. You know?
Just before you go, as you all kind of head out the door, Bacchus puts a hand on your shoulder, Iggy, and goes, Iggy, I won't say I'm not a bit nervous about you going because, what's a father to do? But I'm proud of you. I mean, you've made it this far. Like, if you can handle everything they throw at you out there, then I'm sure you can handle a little trip um to where you're going.
Right. I'm actually, I mean, yes, I hope I hope that hell is actually not as bad as the real world. That would be really handy. Yeah. That seems unlikely though, but I appreciate your words.
Well, look, make it back safe. Just look after each other. Use protection, and you're grown up now.
going to correct him?
No, he says that to me every time I leave the house.
Oh, just a general precaution. That's very good advice then.
And
I
look,
gesture with my axe. We'll be okay.
But yeah. Use that guy. He seems like he's good for protection.
I didn't know you could cast protection. All this time she's been able to cast protection. Is that a spell? Sounds like a spell.
Does sound like a spell. Thanks, Dad. It's somewhat totally terrifying, but at the same time, it's all I've ever wanted to do is get to the bottom of whatever is going on here. So,
Yeah. And look, maybe when you're back, we can give your mom a visit. Like, it sounds like she needs a little bit of just a chilling out,
Yeah, maybe you were originally attracted to her for her like withholding confidence, because she has not lost that. So you'll get on great, I'm sure.
Yeah. I can't wait to see her. Do you think? I mean, she won't notice anything. I mean, I still got it, don't I? Kind of gestures to his general weathered, basically starved appearance on this hellish town on the edge of the world.
Yeah, I don't know if we ever addressed this. Is Bacchus hot?
I mean, I feel like everyone I describe as hot. So it's implied at this
bringing sexy Bacchus. That's what I heard.
That does mean he probably is. It's true. Yeah.
He has a big beard and sort of a dad bod, but it's a slightly thinner dad bod. There's not a lot of resources in the local town, so he's a bit gaunt.
He's
Probably looks
malnourished
like a
and
German
overweight.
painter or poet from the early 1900s, maybe.
Oh, you've never looked better. And I'm going to leave him a picture of us, of him looking great. And I'm softening or hardening the edges of the jawline, etc. And I'm making him look good in that little picture. Something to kind of hang up on the wall. And it's like, I imagine it's like Harry Potter style. Like, we're just like, magic, I think is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, he takes it and he puts it beside all the pictures you've made in the pantry, just up near the spices. And by the time he's back from there, you've gone. Unless there was anything you want to say when he disappeared. He kind of forgot that you were leaving.
What? Oh wait.
As in, he took your picture. You went into the house, all the way to the pantry, and then that was like.
Is he a sim? And I gave him a job to do.
He just turned, yeah.
Well, this is my life now. Okay.
I will. Now that he's gone, let's get going.
No,
Okay.
don't go down. I forgot to build a toilet in there.
That's Dad. Yeah. Oh. Okay, I'm ready for hell.
Found out my dad was hot. I'm ready for hell. Send us to hell,
make your
Benjamin.
way through the town, and you teeter on the edge of the ravine at the spot where many years ago, Iggy, you saw one of your classmates step off. It is craggy. It's a jagged rock face down. The cliffside isn't like entirely flat. There are like cracks in along the edge. It sort of juts out here and there, and almost like lightning has hit a mountain or like tiger strikes. There's like little inlets and kind of cracked little ravines. It's not like Minecraft. It's more like real life. Which When I'm your DM, you have to explain to people.
This is what you meant by a gritty, realistic campaign, not Minecraft.
Yeah. It's not like our imaginations, folks. It's like it works like rocks work in our world. What I mean by that is like there are crevices you can like squeeze down, and like it's not just like straight up. It is where you think this entrance is. It's about 500 feet down. And as you look down, Arlington, you can see this. You can see for a mile. You can see that there is, all the way down at 500 feet, a single plank that seems to be bolted to the side of the cliff where there looks like there is a path.
Okay. Did anyone think to buy rope?
I think I've had rope for a long time, but
Okay.
does Iggy has a way of teleporting, but I don't know how.
A dimension door. I've only used it because that's something that I can use and everyone can go through it, or is it one person, or how does that work?
2 people, you and a creature of your size. So you and Randir or Hook. Arlington actually is medium, but you count for large for carrying capacity.
Yes, correct.
So
I've got them
anyone
long
you
arms,
want.
baby.
Okay. And that range is 500 feet.
Oh, but how many can you cast? Because you'd be doing.
Yes. Is that a fourth level spell? Well, so if I just did.
Maybe we should hold on to the bigger guns once we get to. Let's not exhaust all our resources before we actually.
Arlington, you could just jump down.
I'll be honest. I'm sort of considering jumping down. I don't know. That's the best idea.
I could turn people into birds. We could mix some of our spell slots.
Rander has 10 pythons and a whole bunch of rope. We could probably go scale down.
The old-fashioned way.
Just to be a little bit safer. And
I'm gonna rub out my elaborate dimension bending drawing in it.
Quantum mechanics formulae.
Yeah.
I guess I'll stop casting the anime pen.
Use these ropes, yes.
I think I have a rope, and I think I might have pittance. I certainly I started off with pittance.
That's very good. That's
It's
a very clever joke, Huck.
How long is your rope?
Inspiration on Randir. Randir, you're gonna do great here. This is, you've got it.
Yeah. Do we have 500 feet of rope though?
No.
I have 50 feet.
I think I have 50 feet, but I'm trying to find it.
Okay, that'll certainly lessen the drop.
We'll just keep rotating the 50 feet. Once you've climbed down to my 50 feet, we drop the top one.
Ice climbers.
Oh, that might actually work.
Yeah.
Wait, how do you guys not have any rope either?
I'm looking.
I used mine ages ago, I think, and I don't know if I.
Because I guess we could tie it. We could tie it to all of us, and then use the pittance to climb down, and then essentially we should, with me and Arlington's strength, more than likely should be able to hold up the rest of them. If you fall, if you fall while climbing, I mean.
Oh, I suppose if we fall, I could try to quick cast someone into a bird, or 2 of us. If I wouldn't be able to solve 4 of us. If we all fell, someone would have to do some of their own things. I have 50 feet of rope, hempen rope.
And there's always me and Huck could just do the dimension doors. It's sort of let's leave them to their pit.
I was gonna say I don't know if you could quick cast that while falling. So if you want to do that now, and then me and Arlington can just climb down.
If we've a way that we can get 3 of us down safely, I really think I could make it.
Let me just quickly look up falling damage.
It's 1d6 for every 10 feet up to a cap of 20d6.
Yeah, it's very bad.
It's very bad, but if I'm raging, I take
26.
half damage, and I could potentially take this potion to survive it.
I got a wand of web, which I literally never used the wand of web, but I've had it for a long time. I wonder if I could use the web to stick us down.
You could make a small fireman's trampoline at the bottom.
Just cast all the charges of the web, and you land straight into the nice springy ground.
Just do a little Spider-Man parachute. Stick some webs under your arms. You got a glider suit. That's how those glider suits work, right?
That's exactly how those glider suits work.
But there won't be.
Is there
be a magical solution?
Benjamin? Is there any flora around us, like any like roots that look sturdy enough that we could potentially fashion something out of the local wildlife?
Yes. You know that along the edge of this ravine, not necessarily exactly where the town is, it's a little bit further along, but there are like large trees. It's like the ravine has a hairstyle.
Okay.
You know, it has little spiky hairs, trees on the top of it.
Yeah. Are there any like, I don't suppose there's any vines or anything we could make a rope out of from them?
To save you time, probably not 500 feet worth of vines.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But
you would definitely have something to like tie a rope around, you know, if you didn't want to just pit it into the ground.
Ben, when I've seen people go into the ravine before,
mostly to their death. Yeah.
Okay, they fall. So they do go off the side. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought there was a thing where they have some route that they were walking to the cave. Okay.
Actually, make a nature check.
Sure.
Because you've never seen anyone like walk to this cave. You just kind of piece together over your travels that there is a cave down there. And as Arlington kind of points out this little plank, that's the first time you've even seen or heard of that.
Yeah. Okay. My very slow internet here.
I think what I guess Randy's gonna huff up his trousers, tie a rope, and just start climbing down.
Nice. Yeah.
I got a 16 on the nature check.
16. Nice. So between Iggy's nature check and Rander just huffing it down, you know that you could probably make a good 100 of this 500 feet just by like shimmying in the like crevices. Like it's not like you're abseiling like sheer drop. You can kind of like squeeze down, shimmy down, you know. It's simple enough, and collectively you all make it down about 100 of the 500 feet. At this point, though, it looks like those initial sort of cracks are beginning to thin out, and you might have to now. But you're down. If you equally though, if I've just said you've gone down 100 feet and someone's like, oh fuck, there was something I wanted to do at the top, let me know.
I think Arlington is filled with confidence at clambering down that 100 feet.
I think it probably makes more sense. Randy, if you're comfortable climbing down, I'm certainly comfortable climbing, or I really think jumping would work, but we'll give climbing a go.
But
then it would be certainly worth some of your resources, Ignatius, to teleport yourself and Lord Huck down.
I think so. Judging by how much of that we were both squealing, that
You're
I think
both sweating quite profusely. I really should. You should try yoga. It's very good for the grip strength and that sort of thing.
I have yogurt every day.
Is that what you meant when you've been saying this? Well, that certainly is a change in the situation.
Huck daily has been getting up for his sun salutations, in which he just eats a pot of yogurt while looking at the sun.
Yakult.
Is that why you always came into us and told us you were such a happy baby? I thought it was the maneuvers you were. Well, this is an interesting conversation to have while clinging to a sheer cliff face.
And it's tough because the wind's like.
It's a
only
lovely
for
distraction from the old plumbing into literally hell.
As he's doing that, I'm drawing the plank that we saw originally, and I'm drawing it like as well as possible to try and make it dimension door, to cast dimension door for myself and Huck.
Cool. If you wanna trigger that fire, we can get you down there like lickety split.
Ignatius, before you go, I think my plan for myself might make a bit of collateral damage, so it might make sense for me to go first, rather than running the risk of landing on the two of you and your brittle bones.
Sure. Okay.
Just one thing, Artisan. Would it not make sense to go last in case you break the board?
Well, it doesn't matter to us because we're teleporting, but I guess that could matter to Randy.
Well, if Iggy is teleporting you to the board and the board doesn't exist anymore...
She's
That's a very good point.
Well, she wouldn't do that.
You know what? I'm actually enjoying the fresh air up here anyway. Why don't you all go ahead and I'll meet you at the bottom? But it's not because I'm going to break the board.
If it looks like it's not going to go well, we'll cast a fireball or something. It's not a better spell. Come at you.
Stop casting fireball on me. I'm asking you as a friend.
I think it would lift you up and you wouldn't fall as much. I've been thinking about
the updraft. Yes, of course. Okay, I'll go last, and then you set me on fire if I fall.
Kill me before I reach the bottom, please.
Yeah.
Nice.
Would you rather fall to your death or be burned alive? Yes.
Iggy and Huck, you step into this drawing and appear at these planks 400 feet below your compatriots. Instantly, this sort of sense of you have like a single 2x4, I guess the two width to be at the side of this cliff. So you are like
can we
on
jump
the ledge.
Can we jump into the cave from here? Or...
Cave seems to be along this path. Like it's not like it's like cave instant. It's like this path goes along the cliff up and down. It's a dwarven road. You know, that kind of
so gonna scurry along that while probably still squealing.
Yeah. You, thankfully, the cowardly squeals of your compatriot are drowned out by the buffering winds and harsh, which is nice because it does tend to push you back. Like it's giving a little bit of push against the wall.
And all we're thinking of, I assume, is like Arnage is about to smash through this board.
We better move quick, otherwise he'll bring us with him.
Yeah.
This is very immersive because for anyone watching not from Ireland, there's a severe storm here at the moment, and I can hear wind howling outside.
It is picked up. Climber boys, make a.
Randy, before you head off, are you using your rope? I forgot to get Hux off him.
Well, no, I've got 50 feet of rope. So what we could do is we could tie it to each other and then climb down. Because if one of us slips, the other one could be an anchor. I've seen it in the Discovery Channel. That's a mirror that I saw in.
I was sort of planning on jumping and slowing my ascent with the rope, but your way probably makes more sense.
Oh, if you want to jump, go ahead. I'd be happy to see that.
Well, no, I first of all, I should assure you, I don't want to jump, but I'm hearing some arguments for that plan, and I'm trying to lean into that a little bit more and I'm basically, you know, when you're a parent and you don't want your child to do something, but you need to let them make the mistake.
I get it. You're trying to be yourself. That's
a nice way of putting it. Yeah.
I guess before Rander kind of goes down, I guess he hands Arlington the rope just so that if you want to jump down, you can slow yourself with the.
Do you know what? Even a small amount of it, even 10 feet of it would be plenty. That's all I need.
Sure, I will cut 10 feet relatively.
Yeah, not exactly. And then I want to.
This is a 40 feet.
Nice. So Ben, what I want to do is I want to try and fashion. I have 2 javelins left. I want to try and break one of them in half and tie the rope to it around midway through. Mm-hmm. My plan is to basically jump and then at some point closer to the bottom, slam the javelin into the rock face and then hang on to the rope so it's got a little bit of. So I'm not immediately going to have my shoulder or arm yanked out of my shoulder, but I want to try and like.
Yeah, that's the worry.
Just kind of like not stop me, but like slow my descent. This is Grud's plan. Grud has gotten bored.
Okay, you want to leap off and then like stab.
I want to God of War this thing.
Can I
I was thinking that. Like, yeah.
Is damage from falling purely based on?
It's bludgeoning damage.
Height fell.
Distance traveled.
Distance traveled, right? So your weight.
But there's a cap of 20 d6.
Your weight and your size doesn't matter.
No, because once you reach terminal velocity, I think it's all the same, right?
Well, no, because if you're small, your terminal velocity would be a lot smaller.
Fair.
Like a spider.
I'm considered a medium creature.
Well, yeah.
It's a shame you're not a tiger.
Magic's the wonderful thing, Arlington. There's lots of things. People can be other sizes, you know. That like.
Are you about to educate Arlington on body positivity?
Just saying, you could be reduced, but I don't think it would help.
I was considering that.
I think specifically within the D&D world, your actual size, they don't have any factors for it. From my memory, it is just distance traveled, not weight that you are.
You assume that I have read the Dungeon Master's Guide, and I'm not a guy who just enjoys the idea of a tiny spider-sized Arlington floating on the wind all the way down.
If this goes badly, I do plan to reduce him. That's the best thing I can do.
So it says a fall from a great height is one of the most a creature takes 1d6 bludgeoning damage for every 10 feet it fell to a maximum of 20d6. The creature lands prone unless it avoids taking damage from the fall. So I'm going to rage and half that.
Okay, so you want to leap off this cliff?
Yeah, and I don't think there's any.
Randy, do you mind if I go first, or would you prefer to head down yourself?
Go ahead. I want to see how this works out. To be honest.
Splendid. Right.
Just before you do, Wes, is this your way of telling us you're quitting the show? Just so I know.
Yeah, I want to go ahead and blaze the glory. No, man, I've crunched the numbers. With half damage, I'll survive this. It just might be very sore.
If I banish him before he hits the floor,
wherever you banish me to, I'll make an enormous crash.
He will also appear back in the when you drop concentration. He will appear back in the place where he is. So theoretically, you could stop his velocity, banish him to a harmless demiplane, and then have him appear. He won't
That's what I was thinking, but I wasn't sure if the retained velocity would be that he comes back and then slams into the floor.
I would do that with a dimension door. I would not do it with a banishment.
Okay.
Arlington, buddy, just want to say one thing before you go. Even though I have -2 intelligence because I'm fairly sure that teapot stole it. Mm-hmm. It's not your sudden stopping I'm worried about. It's the board's sudden decision to not want you have you on it anymore and break.
Well, my plan is to have the rope so I can. That's not really going to be a.
Just want to make sure that we have all the numbers here.
Again, I want to stress, I understand and empathize with this plan. I would like a more thought-out, rational approach, but I feel like he needs to figure out that this probably won't work. And listen, to be honest, some brain damage would probably do me the world of good right now. I could do with knocking a few more brain cells out. -2 intelligence sounds pretty good right now.
Even just one less voice. 5 of them.
And in the... I guess in the current setting, I hope you go to hell?
Mm-hmm. Well, fingers crossed.
Go to hell!
All right, buddy, your turn.
And I'm going to rage and jump off the cliff.
Cool. What the audience sees is Arlington leaping off the cliffside.
I'm not jumping too far because I want to still be able to slam.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah. This isn't Spider-Verse backwards falling.
well, it is until you get back closer to the cliff. For 399 of these feet, you're Spider-Verse backwards falling. But that final important foot, I am going to need you to make, when you're 400 feet falling, it's not too long into that your rage subsides and you get to, enjoy falling.
Would it take that long to get down that far? It's like what?
6
Round of
seconds?
combat, 6 seconds?
400 feet.
6 seconds is long to be
That's a long time.
What's the falling speed of a character in D&D?
I'll just Google exactly that.
This must exist. I love that. Of course.
Speed 5e. 60 feet per round. 6 seconds. Oh no, that's feather fall. Never mind, because that's really slow.
Yeah, 500 feet per 6 seconds. So.
Oh, so yeah, you could. You could make it the full. It takes you a full round.
You know what? Maybe I'll. I feel like. Well, it's up to you as to whether or not I've used it up, but I feel like. No, actually, no. I like this thematically. I like the idea of I'm going to use up 2 rages. I'm going to top it up if I need to. I think that works because I like the idea of Arlington coming to halfway through and shitting himself.
Yeah, you need to rage in order to let go of the mountain.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, Arlington wouldn't have his knuckles are white. He's like, well, here I go, and nothing happens.
You don't have to mark down 2 rages, but thematically and dramatically, that is what happens.
I don't think I've ever used up 2 rages before a long rest. I'm fine with it. I have 4 of the things.
I mean, we're only going to hell. It's not like we need to do any fights.
It's not like we need to, preserve things.
How the fuck can I catch you? Is the question that's going through my head. Because there is it's not about your strength stabbing into the wall. It's about the strength of this javelin not breaking under your weight, and the planks not breaking under your weight. I think it's impossible to do what you're trying to do, but this is a game where anything is possible.
Yeah, if you roll 20.
I mean, listen,
if it helps, I'm watching, and I can either reduce him, banish him, or turn him into an animal.
So I'm the idea with the digging the Poland isn't to like stop myself. I'm definitely trying to slow my speed. But if the world says I go through the planks, that's what happens. I'll have to figure that out and figure out a new plan after that. Like, don't coddle me.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm literally just trying to think. I guess it's an athletics check. And because you're raging, I think you can do strength-based things with advantage. Am I right in that? Yeah. So roll an athletics check with advantage. This is just to flavor.
How much of a mess I made on the way down. Athletics with advantage. That's a 27 for the first one and 28 for the second. 28.
Either of those natural 20s, or do you have more than 8?
No, I just have a plus 11 modifier. So it's actually 17 on dice.
Is within the limitations of very hard, I think, is the terms they use in the guide. It's not like 30 plus is like almost impossible, like godlike. But 28 is like, the question becomes, when do you stab the wall?
I think, so we've gone down 100, so it's 400 feet. I'd say 100 feet from the ground. I think he's starting to like slow it down from a decent distance, and like I'm willing to drop 50 feet. That's fine. I can take that.
Cool.
As I'm falling, you hear, I'm on a mission from God.
Iggy and Huck, just as you're thinking Arlington might crash through, you see, because you don't know his plan, Arlington falling towards you, fast and faster, like seconds away, and then you see him stab into the wall. Instantly, the javelins break. But I will accept that, Arlington, if you wanted to, you have bugbear claws.
Mm-hmm. That's my backup.
And a 28 is very good. So I think you almost slow yourself down. Not quite to Featherfall levels, which would be a good spell to have today, but to the fact that you know you're going to either bounce off or smash through this plank. But at this moment in time, you're not sure if it's bounce or smash.
And I have slowed down a little bit from
yes, you have managed to grab it. Now, in doing that, bearing in mind you're raging, you take 4... That's so low. 4 bludgeoning damage.
Just 4.
Yeah.
You grazed me.
Yeah. By just grabbing onto this cliff and just
that's
pulling
factoring
down.
the rage already, is it?
That's factoring the rage already.
Yeah.
So it was going to be higher.
Nice.
Can I
Iggy and Huck.
just say he said yes to the fireballs, right? Fireballs down?
Yeah.
I need you both to make dexterity saving throws with disadvantage on this plank.
Oh no, didn't we move off of it? You didn't wait?
You are further along the plank, but the difference is that it's not only Arlington falling now, rocks are falling.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Dexterity with disadvantage. Okay.
Yeah.
I like to think that Randir is currently just listening to an audio podcast because he can't actually
He's
look
having
down.
a nice outdoors experience.
He's just like,
Oh, wait a second. Oh, I'm so glad I have that. So on disadvantage, without looking at my dex stat, I rolled 1 twice.
Wow.
That's the first time this whole campaign that halfling luck hasn't saved your ass.
Well, yeah, but I'm a puka, so I can roll. I can re-roll both of the ones.
I don't know if you can reroll both ones. I think it's you can reroll A1 and you have to take.
Yeah,
the
I don't
next
think luck stacks.
But
well, how does disadvantage work?
it means that like that other one counts, right? You can choose to reroll.
Oh
one
yeah,
of
it
the
counts
ones,
as a
but
1, but you
still-
get to yeah.
That's definitely one. I got 25. If that helps me
It
help.
does help. Yeah. So
Oh, sorry, I understand Keelan's saying, as in he had disadvantage, so he had to stick with that 1, but he gets to re-roll one of those.
he gets to reroll 1/1, but ultimately it makes no difference.
essentially
because the
what
lowest roll will
happens
still
is
be-
he rolls 2 dice. He then chooses like one of them and happens to be 1. So if he rolled a 1 and a 3, he could choose the 1.
Oh, sorry, yes. My
know,
smooth
kind of
brain
thing.
did not follow that at
Yeah.
all.
to reroll, but he'd still ultimately get the 3.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it seems like I'm screwed. I disagree, but I don't really mind because I'd rather not be screwed. But 1. I rolled a crit. I rolled a fail. I mean, at that stage, it doesn't even matter what my dex stat is, which is +3. So 4.
Yeah. But Iggy, you got like 20 something, right?
Yeah, I rolled a 19 and a 20, so I got 25.
Stop stealing all my luck.
You like dance around
Oh.
Huck as you expertly.
Yeah. You managed to. You don't move at all because you can see the rocks coming down, and you go, they're not gonna. Where I'm standing, I'm fine. But Huck moves, and Huck moves directly into the path of a rock. You have a split second, or like a reaction to do something, if you want to do it.
And I want to laugh, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think what I would do is squeal like louder in a way that might frighten him into stopping. If stopping was what I needed him to do.
I'm so dead.
Persuasion check.
Sorry.
Make a persuasion roll.
Oh, okay. Excellent. That's my bag.
Hmm?
Come on. That's plus 13. Come on.
Nice.
Oh, and that's a natural 1. 1 plus 13 is 14, but that's a natural 1. Sorry,
I
Huck.
didn't think this is how you'd die. And I didn't think I'd be starting a new adventure in the new year with Randir and his wholesome friends. Iggy, the wind catches in your throat. You don't get the words out. Huck, a large rock smashes you on the head. Arlington, you smash down at the same time. Simultaneously, 2 of your compatriots, either side of you, have crashed through these planks.
Okay. I obviously didn't have time to act again on the fall down. That's obviously my full turn.
No, you can actually, sorry, you can do something. You know you're slowing down. You just don't know whether you can do something between the bounce and the crash to help.
Yeah, if I can, I want to try and grab the lair skull axe, and if I can feel my rage subsiding, I want to rage again, and then just kind of let go for a second, grab 2 hands, and just try and vertical limit this thing and bury the lair skull axe, because I know it'll be a bit sturdier than the javelins. And even if I'm like this, I would be more happy kind of wedging into the wall and then working my way down from there.
Make a sleight of hand roll.
Oh, that's fair, but how dare you? Ooh. 7 plus 2, 9. I thought that was a 1. I was like, no, not now.
Your Lairskut axe leaves your hand and
comes
you
back
move
immediately.
You move faster than it. You were falling
Oh
faster
shit!
than
So I just leave it behind.
It's up there. You're making your way down.
So I've made more dangerous debris from my friends below.
Yes,
unless you can summon it.
I don't know if that's how it works, but I will certainly try. I mean, that's...
Randir, while you're up here, I don't know if there's anything you can do at 400 feet difference.
Jump.
But I do want to give you the chance.
No, not really. I can't. If I jump, I just make another projectile.
At the very least, you know Bacchus has put on a kettle, so you have the means to break the bad news to him. She's no way of getting. Well, I guess another dimension.
Yeah, she can get up the way she got down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Getting
hit by a giant rock, which is generally considered to be exactly the cliched way of dying.
Okay.
Yeah. Rocks fall and literally everyone dies.
Yeah.
Everyone falls and rocks die.
Falling, you crash through the plank. Huck, you've been hit in the head and you are beginning to fall off this plank. Both of you, for the sake of timing of this, are we'll come back to that. Iggy, you have the impossible choice: the school bus full of children, or the girl. And by that I mean Arlington or Huck.
Lost the stream again.
Ooh.
Good.
I'm
More time to think.
surprised that you chose to be that. Sorry, so Arlington is falling still, or is he on the thing?
I smashed through the plank.
Oh.
Arlington's going to smash the plank and
I think
fall.
we're- I think we're
Huck's
buffering.
falling off.
I have
buffering.
We're just buffering.
Oh wow!
sorry.
Give me 1 second. But anytime, if you have questions,
I could ask you a question that would then make it. It was like, if this works, I could deliver it in a better way than you guys. Because I don't know if it's Big B's giant hand. Can that pick something up?
yes, it can.
Yeah, remember we did that before. You lifted me up so we could get a view.
Oh yes. Okay. Yeah. So I was gonna. My plan was to like roll my eyes and cast it. When you fell too far, but it all got quite dramatic since then. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I think if you're beyond the plank, I have to grab you.
No, but you can still cast it like below him to.
Oh no, I mean instead of Huck, who's on the plank, but her.
Mhm. Bigby's hand's big, and Bigby's a big hand. Like it's a big
I don't know
hand.
if I don't know if I can carry 2 people though.
You could have carried all of you down on like a handly elevator.
My luck stat literally just says when you roll a 1 on a d20.
Seems like we're back.
That's fair. I think I might need to change that wording to specifically bring up this use case of disadvantage to natural.
We're back.
I don't know about 2 1s and a disadvantage. Yep. I could have just not rolled the other last one.
We're back. We're live again.
Oh, good.
We're live.
We've caught up.
That's true. Well, yeah. Either way.
No, because even if I had re-rolled the first one and then rolled the second one, yeah, it doesn't say only once a round, but you're the one who wants character.
This is a perfect time for Don't Be That Gygax award. Our version of a sage advice. So if you know the ruling, I basically took it like it's as similar to the halfling Lightfoot rule as possible. It's not like the lucky feat where you can. The lucky feat you can just expend those charges.
It's definitely up to you because you decide. Yeah. You decide where you decide if it activates on his choice of which of the because he doesn't get a choice of the disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's essentially the activation of it is when he rolls a 1 or when a 1 is initiated for the ability or whatever.
Right, so of course, because theoretically you could go, okay, disadvantage, I'm going to take this 1 for my disadvantage, and now kick it in and re-roll it.
Yeah, or because of the disadvantage, it won't matter because he'll roll one of the disadvantage dice.
You know what?
I would say regardless, we've moved on. I got hit by a boulder. Yeah, there's no going back.
Yeah,
I'll slide into Jeremy's DMs. I'll shoot him a little text. JC and me, we go way back. I'll just quickly ask him a question. He'll go back to me.
Mention this in
Jen Crawford? Yeah, no problem. Pardon?
In Huck's eulogy, we'll talk about this. You know?
We literally protected us against death. I'm not that worried.
Yeah, true. Yeah, worst case scenario, you just bounce back to the teapot, and Morgan's like, "Wait, what? You're back already?"
It was a quick.
Iggy.
Yes, I believe. So Arlington is hurtling now past the plank.
Mm-hmm.
In which case, yes, in a way that doesn't make sense considering I could have done this before, she's going to roll her eyes and cast Bigby's hand to go down and scoop him up, not considering I could have done that sooner. So I'd like to try and do that. I don't really know that much about casting.
Yeah, you don't need to. There's no. Aside from just casting it, there's no. It works.
Okay.
Arlington, you land in the palm of a Bigby's hand. Iggy, what does Biggie's hand look like?
I think this is because maybe my characters share like a shared consciousness maybe, and I think that the hand is for no reason it's skeletal, and looks quite creepy. Mm-hmm. From a safety perspective, they're thick, they're large bones.
I was gonna say I'm just gonna shoot through the fucking bone.
It's a thick skeletal hand.
It looks like it's made out of pillows. Really comfortable, non-damaging pillows.
Sorry, maybe I shouldn't have made like a skeleton.
No. Can I? That makes sense because can I just add one thing to that? It's a skeletal hand, but not in the sense of a skeleton. But you know the way artists have those hand statues that are skeleton-like?
Yes. There we go. That's
one
all.
Of those. Yeah. You catch Arlington. Can I ask you? Are you able to move Bigby's hand on your turn when you cast it?
I was reading it, and that's what I wasn't sure. I know that I can't, grapple him and hurt him in this turn. I'll have to wait until next turn to do that.
Mm-hmm. But please don't.
Which is obviously nice.
Why would you try and kill me?
Adding more insult to injury there.
How long do I have to fall?
Sorry, it says the hand lasts...
Oh, hang on. Yeah, you can cast it as an action, but then you can move it as a bonus action in the same round.
It says... Okay, it says mimicking the movements of my own hand, and then...
Yeah. When you cast a spell and as a bonus action on your subsequent turn, on your subsequent turns, you can move the hand.
Yeah, so the
first... read that part out.
the first part, because the subsequent turn I think refers to the 4 things I can get it to do, like hurting someone.
No, I think the subsequent turns is to do with movement. So it's when you.
You know what? I'm not familiar with this spell. Some people in the audience mightn't be either. Top to bottom, instead of select bits from things, and not yada yadaing anything.
Yeah.
Read me the spell.
It's I think this is correct. So when you cast a spell and as a bonus action on your subsequent turns, you can move the hand up to 60 feet and then cause one of the following effects with it. So when you cast a spell, you can move the hand up to 60 feet.
And on subsequent turns, yes, correct.
Yeah, so it's that and on subsequent turns. So it just means from then on, it's a bonus action, not an action. So you can move it the first time you cast it.
Oh, okay. Sorry, because okay, cool. So then I'm just gonna like bring him up, obviously, in a nice.
Obviously.
I'm gonna ask you this once. Are you sure?
What do you mean?
Hook is falling.
No,
sorry.
no, well, yeah.
Well, what I was gonna do was, Arlington is midair, so I was gonna scoop him and bring him up to where Hook was, and try and bring them up both towards where the cave was.
Okay. Yeah, because I thought it was like Hook's falling, you bring Arlington up, and Hook continues to. Well, I'm saying you could just do one big scoop.
Oh no!
There as well. She was like, I catch Arlington, and then I can move it, right? And I was like, she'll move it over to me. I'm gonna move Arlington up.
Yeah.
In the direction of Hook to catch them both. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Amazing. Easily done. How long does Bigby's hand last for?
A minute.
A minute. Cool. Provided concentration. And you can move 60 feet a turn. Okay, cool. Rand here. In a matter of seconds, Arlington is leapt off the cliffside, smashed down, rocks a fall, and you look down and you see that there's now a hand holding. You might describe that as my DM style, but in this world, it's a spell. Hand holding your compatriots, Huck and Arlington, while Iggy's on the plank. What do you want to do?
What to rethink my life choices allowed me to hear.
Mm-hmm.
So that's some. I guess he just wants to climb down. Like,
yeah, make an athletics check.
Jump.
I got a 17 altogether.
I forgot that I could have just tried to climb.
Yeah. Climbing is an option and a thing.
I was like, how's Randy going to survive the jump? Like,
in some it's its own stat, you know.
Well, it's not as easy a climb.
It takes you some time, and you make it with a 17. I'm gonna need you to roll another one, but you're now like 150 feet away from this plank area.
I got 19.
Nice, yeah, you make it down. It takes you about 10 minutes. In which time Iggy, I presume you've kind of pushed them to safety on a plank, and all of you, except for Randir, are safely on a plank. Rander, you have unfortunately like a Mario 2-plank hop because there's now 2 gaps in the plank caused by both Arlington and rocks. So I need you to make a acrobatics.
Throw me the rope, my friend. We'll make sure you don't fall.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I throw him the rope.
Yeah.
And then I'll do an acrobatics check.
Yeah. Do it with advantage. You now have a rope helping you.
I got a D20. I got a natural 20 on the first roll.
Some would say dwarves are quite good at scaling cliffs. Not me. I'm not racist. Hopping across what is you recognize this, Rander? This is a dwarves road along the cliffs. The single road.
Oh yeah, if she wants to be the the tip of the spear.
If you help.
Looks like we're back. Buffering ended.
Yes, we are back for me.
Cool.
Oh,
Lucy, sorry, you had a question.
Huh?
Did you have a question?
Like in general, or
as in the marching order question didn't come.
Yeah, when we're talking about marching order,
I'm sorry.
You were raising a very important point.
I think it sounded like I might be at the front if I helped 2 of them, and then you were helping Randy. Yeah,
because we don't have space on the boards to rearrange ourselves.
I mean, you can roll some more checks. There's nothing but endless plummeting descent.
I mean, Hook can definitely walk between my legs. He's done it several times.
Oh yeah. I mean, but getting past Iggy. That's a
Well,
different.
I like the restriction. I like the restriction of not wanting to.
No, I
rock
think
the boat.
Iggy's on front of this pilgrimage. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try and scurry through this this tiny hole place.
Nice. Yeah, you crawl through, and all of you follow, and you start crawling down and along into this cave space. It's quite, for anyone who suffers from it, probably not Randir, although maybe because of the cave-in, it's quite claustrophobic. And it seems to be descending swiftly. Iggy, I need you to make an athletics check.
Mm-hmm.
It's to stop the speed of your descent. Do you have the strength to not just like shoot down the slide?
Sure. That is. Sorry, lagging. I can just roll that. Oh. Sorry. Oh god. That is a 6. No, yeah, 6.
Gamer lag.
Like a kid on a water slide trying to stop your descent but finding no grip, you begin to tumble. Everyone
Can I
start?
As Iggy's visually starting to slip, I mean, I'd be keeping an eye on her. Can I try and reach forward with my? I mean, I've got long limbs, so I can reach I can reach beyond 5 feet. Can I try and like grab her by the scruff of the neck and stop her from falling and like grip onto the side of the wall or something, just try and brace her?
I would definitely accept help immediately.
I have a question. Do you have dark vision? Most people do.
Nearly positive I do, but let me double check because I feel like I was confused by this before. Dark vision, yes, I do.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. You reach forward and Iggy, you feel a hairy hand grab you and stop you sliding down what seemed to be a sort of side path. It seemed like there was a severe drop down to the right-hand side. You all continue squeezing and crawling and dragging yourself through the wet earth until you feel the pressure around you begin to lessen. And a path opens out into a large dome-shaped room. You see wet, glistening stone. On the ground, you see sort of powdery rocks, kind of odd-shaped. Maybe it's marble. It's kind of white in color, and a little bit of like moss and overgrowth. It takes on a little bit of a shape. This marble seems to grow in a sort of long, coiled formation. Huck, make a nature check.
Cool. Do I have advantage?
Yes.
That is, I think, decent. Let me check. Oh, don't go into that. Nature 17.
17. You know a nest when you've seen one. This has some nest-like qualities. It seems like there's some like what do you call it? Down? Is that down bedding?
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff.
Downy.
Yeah. But looking around with a 17, kind of giving the air a sniff. Doesn't look like it's not recently lived in nest. So like something lived here some time ago. But you get the feeling pretty confidently that you're the first sign of life in a good long time.
No pun
Are there
intended.
any like feathers or eggshell shards or anything like anything that would indicate what the creature might have been?
No, nothing obvious, but make a perception check. While you roll that, I'm going to ask you as players, would you rather we take a break shortly, or would you rather just open table, use our bio breaks and all that kind of stuff, and roll forward? I'm happy to. Randy.
My only thing is that I'm the only person that it's difficult for me to. I'm going to go to the bathroom now, and if anything breaks.
Yes, good. Very good point. Very good point. Well, then
it's about
Maybe short break.
Yeah,
you
like
just do it, right?
Like I can just run it now, and you guys can continue on. Like,
No, I think
You can just take a break.
Like a 5 minute. Yeah, we don't.
I have
to
my
take a
roll.
Yeah. Give me the result of that roll and
Say a natural 20.
Oh,
yeah.
That's right. I jumped off a cliff face, but I'm using my natural 20 on looking around.
I rolled 2 ones in a row and got hit by a giant rock.
Yeah. You take a look around, nothing immediately obvious, and then you take a closer look at that marble, which seems to coil around itself, and you realize that's not marble, That's bone, baby. With a natural 20, a naga used to live down here. This was the nest of a naga. You put it together, entrance to the underworld, nagas. This is probably at one point in time, maybe before the age of the Fianna, and maybe before the Fey invasion, maybe way back in the beginning of the world when everything was first made and laid out in perfect harmony. This might have been a guardian naga who would like guard the gates of the underworld. But time and corruption and events of history have since led them to be a little bit obsolete.
And there's Downy Fluff.
It's not like it's in the way that like stuff has just been grown over with moss and like you can kind of acknowledge like, oh yeah, like organic material was here at some point.
Right. Just in case nagas were birds in your world for some reason.
No, they're female lions, right?
Oh, of course. Yeah. That's what I was. They live in nests.
No, more
in a world.
When I say Downy Fluff, I mean more like the general setup of a nest. You kind of get, I got this, you know.
Yeah.
This is nest-like. Snake or reptile or bird.
Like an entire skin of a naga. Perfect. You can see it's like, it's just shed skin.
You can see, I'll leave you at a bit of a crossroads, quite literally. Sorry, Arlington, do you have something?
I was going to say, will we let Paul pee?
Paul, I promise you I'll let you pee in like 30 seconds. There's me being like, it's an open table, and then being like, no, sit there in your no, go pee if you need to. I will call this break. I will call it at crossroads. I promise. I need to pee too, if it makes you feel better.
It's just that if you let me go and then call a break, the break won't happen.
There's no break. I have to sit here and yeah, I get it. I understand. You make your way past this entrance dome into a small opening, and your curved path leads further and further down into the mountainside. Light from the surface does not extend this far, so anyone without dark vision is plummeted into darkness. The tunnels, with all this wind pulling in, sound quite eerily like a person taking their last breath. Like I don't know if that's what a last breath sounds like, but that's what and that's the wind coming by you. And not long into your
How many men have you murdered, Ben?
I don't know
There's a story about that. I won't get into it now. There's a movie story about plunging a knife into someone's heart and them not actually sounding like that. I think it's
Christopher
Lee. Saruman?
Yeah, Christopher Lee, yeah.
Well, yeah, everyone knows it.
Because he was a Nazi killer.
The good kind?
Yeah, the good kind, thankfully. Not the Arnold Schwarzenegger's dad kind.
Yeah, I got you.
I heard that Candwell podcast.
Not long into your descent, the path splits before you. That is where we'll take a break at a split path, a literal crossroads into the gates of hell. We'll be back in less than 15. We're gonna keep it a tight, maybe 15. Who knows? We'll be back.
It'll be 15 probably.
Yeah. But there's nothing else to say. Paul needs to pee. Let's pull the break. Pull the plug, Paul. Pull the plug on part 1, and we'll be back.
We'll be back after the break, though.
Yeah,
we're professionals.
Welcome back to part 2 of Homebrew. Look, we got a podcast. If you got ears, listen to it. We got promo codes. If you got eyes, look at them on the overlay. Let's play some motherfucking D&D.
But only if you've subscribed on YouTube.
Yeah, that too. Announcements out of the way. Let's dive right in. The party have climbed into the openings of a cliffside towards the gates of the underworld. You came across a long forgotten and long abandoned Guardian Naga resting place and descended deeper and deeper. Arlington, good time to point out, you don't have Lair Skull.
Oh shit! Right. Where
I just realized.
Did it fall into the depths below?
One can only assume.
Right. Okay.
Well, wasn't it
That's
just
disastrous, actually. But yeah.
wasn't it just
Yeah.
embedded in the wall? Did it
No,
fall out?
No, he tried to
I didn't
swap
actually
it
get
out.
to even try. It flew out of my hand, and
Oh
I flew
my
fast.
God.
And-
yeah,
and
I
how
fell
many
faster
times-
than it. I didn't
How many
even think.
times have you succeeded in making it come to your hand?
If that works, I don't think it's going to work through the mountainside.
No. I mean, if we went by near the area. But how many times you've never succeeded, right?
No, I've only tried, I think, twice, and no, it hasn't worked yet.
What is it? What do we have to do to get it back?
Arlington, realizing what's happened, just like puts one hand out to his side and just kind of closes his eyes, and it's like
Yeah, make it a religion roll.
a religion roll. But I'm using my strength.
You literally communed with God about having a magical thing, and you know.
I'm going to give you one of my flashes of genius,
Ooh,
which
what
will
does
give
that
you a +3 to that roll as well.
do? Okay. I'm gonna try and as I'm concentrating and flexing, I'm gonna invoke the name of Manon and McClear, like in
Manon and McClear's name, return to me.
so it's a 6 plus Randier's 3 is 9.
Oh, is that what you're trying to? I thought you were doing a religion check. Because if you're doing a thing to get it back, I can add a plus.
I was rolling religion to try and get it back.
Oh, it's religion to try and get back. Sorry,
Apparently.
I'll throw a bonus on. I got a plus.
Even though I'm clenching and using all my strength, it seems that's not helping it return.
It's religion in
plus,
a very straightforward sense of pure faith and belief.
plus 3.
Oh, it completely makes
I added
sense.
plus 3 with my D4 using the luck thing.
It's basically like, imagine like a bodybuilder in church trying to pray harder by like pressing his hands together, like there's veins popping out of his neck, but it's not making the prayer any more devout.
Huck, remind me, you using Tides of Chaos, Bend Luck, whatever that
Yeah,
thing's called?
see, it's bend luck. If it's bend luck, it's fine. I use sorcery points. That's the one. That's the adding the D4. If I wanted to give him advantage, that'd be Tides of Chaos.
But do I need to know anything when you use Bend Luck?
No, bend luck doesn't. That uses sorcery points. That's pretty.
Right.
That's pretty straightforward, like casting a spell.
I gotta tell
I
people.
think you have to use Tides of Chaos to get a charge of Bend Luck back. Isn't that how that works?
No. If
No.
I use Tides of Chaos, I think if I wild magic, I can potentially get it back. But but I can't because it's a long rest. No, Tides of Chaos just gives me advantage. It's better.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Semantics. Anyone who was interested in drinking a beer that's been made from the cave that the party are currently in, I've had all 3 of these now. They're fucking delicious. I was not expecting good things because they're all kind of wild fermented saisons, and they can be wildly hit and miss. This one has a neat little wolf on it. If you're watching the VOD, you can see the wolf.
bottle art is really nice.
Yeah.
Good font
so
as well. Font is
Black
important.
Donkey.
Interesting
Black Donkey.
fact.
Yeah.
Sorry, interesting fact. When I was making Iggy's bag of cans, I looked up a butterscotch beer called Flying Cauldron. So I don't know. I'm gonna try buy some now just to taste what butterscotch beer actually tastes like.
On the very back of the bottle, the entrance to the cave is there. You've just crawled through that cave.
Oh,
Nice.
cool.
Just so you know. Owen Nagat, the Cave of Kurokon, or the Cave of Cats. Speaking of cats, make a perception check.
Wait, what happened with your religion check there? Did you?
Nothing. Absolutely
Nothing
nothing.
Even with
Who's making a perception check?
All of you.
Oh.
Oh.
Actually, I'm gonna start rolling dice. It's more satisfying.
Hmm.
And better, apparently. 15 for Arlington.
Cool.
16 for me.
I got an 8.
Nice.
I got an 11. Oh, 12. Okay.
Nice. I enjoy for perception checks, and this just might be me, and I enjoy this across all streams. When there is a little bit of D&D Beyond lag, especially for perception checks, everyone always goes like, and it's as if they're listening harder, which is great. It's a real good like character and player collided moment. Now I get it. Huck and Arlington. The path splits before you. Down the left, you hear water. Down the right, you hear nothing.
Can I use our, I mean, Fey knowledge, for lack of any other term, a kind of, basic folklore knowledge? Arcana. I'm happy for it to be Arcana, but
Only if you say it right.
Arcana or nature, either or whatever. But a kind of lore. I'm trying to get a sense of whether or not. Yeah.
Yeah, good check. Yeah, roll good check.
I would like to glean different information if possible, if you would allow 2 different checks while he's rolling that.
Sure.
Considering I spent most of my youth in caves and like dungeons basically being the monsters that heroes hunted, I would like would I know what running water means in a cave? Like, does that mean, deeper into the cave is good or whatever? Like,
that's a good point. You don't need to roll for that. Usually would mean bigger cave system, because like running water would kind of erode, and this is limestone, that for a fact, easily corroded and easily eroded limestone when it comes to running water. So running water will probably be deeper, so you'd definitely be getting closer to the sea, and the closer you are down, potentially the closer you are to hell.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, deeper means hell.
Yeah, deeper means hell.
Yeah. So you I can hear running water to the right.
Sorry, just for myself and Lucy there. Yeah, you could go to the left is water, right is nothing. Huck.
Left is water. Right.
My check, Arcana or nature, it doesn't matter. Either way, it's 18.
Nice. Basically the same information, except for the fact that you remember the entrance to hell is following the widow's tears.
Following the widow's tears. So is that like a river running water?
Yeah, basically. I'm being coy for no reason.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to get at, is whether or not I think there's a river in the underworld, which real me thinks there is, but Huck may or not.
I don't know if there is in Irish mythology. Absolutely loads of other mythologies. You've got rivers to cross, lives you forget, don't dip your toe in the water, that kind of stuff. The entrance to the underworld in Irish mythology is like much like Tír na Nog, and I've since learned this. There's like a lot of Tiernas. So like there's Magmel, there's Tír na Nog, there's the Otherworld, the underworld. There's where mortals go, where gods go, all that kind of stuff. So there's different planes of where you end up. It's a little bit like Norse, I suppose, where like Valhalla and the other one where Thor lives, Asgard, exist. But Magmel and the entrance to Jock Dun in Hibernia, in this particular place, at this particular time, located entirely within this game.
I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
It is through water.
Cool. So if I have that fact, then we should go the watery way, and by that I just mean that way towards the running water sounds.
I'd agree. Running water means deeper. Deeper means hell. Hell's where we're going. It all makes perfect cave sense.
Excellent.
I'm gonna run my finger on the side of the wall and lick my fingers. It's limestone, which means it's eroding. And other geological facts. We should go down. We should go left.
Left? Is it left?
Left is water. Right
yeah.
is.
Left is water. Okay. Well,
If
then,
I said something different 5 minutes ago, you remembered wrong.
That's fine. And even more so in the old halfling language, left is sinister and hell is sinister. So
Yeah, fair. I buy it. As you descend left further and further into this cave, is anyone lacking vision at the moment? No one's dark.
I don't think. I'm not sure if pukas have dark vision, to be honest. Although I am a rabbit, so I live in a hole.
The thing is, like, dark vision is only up to 60 feet, and it's like you can't see in color, and it's like it's not very detailed.
I'm just wondering if anyone's in basically pitch black.
I am. But...
I'm dark 60 feet, so is that fun?
Yeah, you're good. I think everyone except for Huck is. It's such a funny thing because better DMs would use it more often, and I'm not that. So
I can light a torch if you'd like.
I'm going to hold Huck's hand while we walk through this dark black cave.
Perfect.
Are you afraid, Randir? Don't worry, I've been through a lot of this.
He's walked blindly into many a situation.
See, secretly, Rander is scared because of his history with caves and cave-ins and dying light.
You just stay near me, and that's when you're the furthest away from all the explosions that tend to happen. And that's usually the safest place I find.
I'll see you guys holding hands and be like,
Oh, good, Randy. Yes, you take care of Hawk. Make sure he's okay.
Iggy,
the buddy
did you have
system.
something you wanted to do?
Sorry?
Did you have we, like the stupid ogreish men we are, I talked over you a second ago. I think.
I made a hilarious quip about a buddy system.
Oh, good.
I heard the joke about the buddy system because, Ben, I listen to women.
That's fair.
And that's what that's about.
I didn't listen to Lucy at all. Not because she's a woman, because I've known her for a long time.
That's not a gender thing. That's just you're always being shitty to Lucy.
And then I stole her joke because I didn't know it. So I also made a buddy joke right at the end there. So
Right.
well
Double
done,
down
Lucy, on
being a
preempting
prick.
that.
I'm happy to continue walking into hell, which sounds like with waterway.
The sound of the river grows, and you find your path merging with a larger tunnel with a river running through it. The water seems to be flowing deeper into the mountains. It doesn't take any check to realize this is probably where those widow's tears began, and you've sort of just intersected it on a tributary. And the trail leads you to the top of a waterfall. For anyone in Ireland listening to the storm right now, that is the noise of this cave. It is delightful. I've never been more immersed in a game. And you find this river cascading down into a pool of seemingly endless depths below.
I mean, does that look like a hell pool to all of you? I'm not... First of all, we should have addressed this early on. Is anyone familiar with hell? I'm not really very versed in it.
You know, I actually feel like this is terrifying. Maybe we should just turn back. Maybe death is fine, but not imminent death. And this is I'm not sure we're going the right way. And
I mean, Ignatius, we've come this far. You've dealt with pretty severe situations already, and this is your hometown. You'd kick yourself forever if you left now.
Sure. Okay. Yes.
We learned not to jump off cliffs.
Sorry.
We've learned not to jump off cliffs, so we could try a whole new tactic.
Well, let's. I'm in one piece. It worked out in the end.
I just want to. Can I shout into the abyss?
Yeah.
Bullied by
Garden sake this
Arlington.
motherfucker.
Because you said there, it's your town. I just want to shout out. More demon, wherefore art thou? We're here. Come and get me. And it's gonna sound probably about as scary as that.
I didn't know she spoke, ancient demon.
Wherefore art thou? Nice.
It's very nice. What darkness lies beyond the east? It is the east, whatever the fuck that one is. I tried to do a light and darkness thing. It didn't work. Shakespeare fans.
You got yeast in for a beer.
It is the yeast.
Yeah.
It echoes around this cave, but you very much notice that no sound passes and reverberates. The pool does not even ripple as you shout.
So it's just a swirling pool.
No, not swirling. Perfectly still.
Can I kick a rock into it and see what happens? Or are there any rocks nearby?
Yeah, you can kick a rock into it.
Does it react in any way?
Yeah, Dwayne goes, "What the fuck?" and he falls into the pool.
Probably could have used him.
Arcana check.
Mm-hmm.
But sorry, does it when the rock goes in? Does it ripple out on the water? Does it react to it at all?
Straight in.
Is it like Stargate style? Or is it like shloop?
You actually see this little wisp come up towards you, and a tiny little rock goes, so this is how I pass, and he floats up to heaven.
I'm gonna rock.
Okay, I'm going.
We all jump in this.
Rander's just gonna run and just be like, cannonball!
Okay.
As Rander rushes past you, Huck, you begin to focus in on the pool. You don't even hear his heavy dwarven footsteps behind you. Give me your Arcana result.
8. Water.
Cold pools, you might get what's that thing when you dive into like an icy lake and you instantly die because it's like fresh? It's like a flash freeze.
Like?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, whatever that is. There's a chance that could happen to you here. But before you wonder if it can, Rander, you plummet into the pool. There is not a bubble, not a sound, not an anything after Randir submerges.
Well, last one in, it's the first one out. That's how.
Not entirely sure I follow your logic. That was so reckless. Who does that sort of thing?
Just jumping into a clearly evil pool of water. Shall we all just go?
I mean, it's either go or leave him here. No, I don't. Does he have any family?
I mean, can dwarves swim? I didn't know.
I presumed they'd sink, but we should probably go in and find out.
Ben, there's no. This pool is our dead end. Is there other places we should? Are there pathways?
Not within 60 feet that you can see. It seems like this path very much directs you to a cave. There's no even like land around the pool. It's like waterfall into pool of water. There's no way you could leap off this and land on like solid ground. It's like straight into the abyss.
Well, I did find out recently that I don't even have a soul. So, what have I got to lose? I suppose. Shall we?
Yeah,
I guess Randir's not here. He would have probably had it. Do I have any empty flask water? I have a water thing.
Sure.
Can I fill in some water? Trying not to touch it with my own skin, the water, as in trying to just scoop a bottle, not to.
Yeah. Make a sleight of hand check.
Sweet.
It is pure monster energy.
And that is 9 on dice, and I think my sleight of hand's very good because I thought at the start that I'd use it a lot more. 16.
16. Yeah, you managed to dip the bottle into the water, and have a full flask or bottle full of widow's tears.
Great. Sweet.
Which sounds like an amazing whiskey.
It does.
Except for instead of Ishka Baha, it may very well be the Ishka of death. Whatever the
other Ishka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we should probably go in and make sure he's alive. I'd feel terrible if he died. He's really helped us out with a few drams, and this brew he's drank for us looks pretty good.
I'm gonna start running towards the water, and as I jump, I'm gonna almost like belly flop style. I'm gonna make one last ditch effort to try and call my axe before I delve into hell. I'm sure there's a cooldown on it or something, but as I leap, I'm gonna scream in the name of Manon and McClare, but very uncertainly.
Roll religion.
Come on, not 20.
Come on, that would be great.
Ooh, 14.
That
would be the time for a 20.
You don't even get to feel, when you put two magnets beside each other and you can feel a connection, there's nothing at the end of your hand. In you go.
Cool.
So what happens?
Puck,
wait.
Miggy are standing at the top of this waterfall. Two of your companions have jumped into a inky black pool and disappeared. There is no bubbles. They have not surfaced. They are gone.
I mean, at this stage, we could consider it a wash and just.
I'll take Hug's hand and we'll, if he's up for it, jump in after them.
I don't know. As the two closely related to the Feywild here, this could be the best way to let Rua succeed, enjoy a Feywild material plane hybrid, and live out the rest of your lives in harmony.
This was their plan all along. They just wanted to get rid of the mortals.
I knew it. I knew Iggy would curve.
All we had to do was lead them to water, and they jumped in by themselves. It's hell water, guys.
It was so easy. It was definitely the rock. Literally died. It was killed the rock.
But the point is that we need to.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Grab her hand, and lead them together.
This is the same for all of you, although happening at different times. The moment you plunge into the water and pass through the threshold from the mortal realm to the otherworld, your vision. It's harder to tell, but you can tell because there's a little bit difference here because you're all seeing in the dark. Your vision goes grayscale, but there is a hint and a tint of blue. All around you, you can see what look like will-o'-wisps, and you can suddenly hear them. That wind, strikes you that that wasn't the wind from the ravine. That is each and every soul that has died since you entered this cave, passing by you and going to the other world.
It sounds like Tom Allen in Home Improvement.
Ooh!
Uh,
Infinite amount of Tim Allens, not Tom Allen. Tom the Toolman Allen.
Yeah.
These floating clouds of energy are almost like an underwater current flowing down into the world below. You are surrounded by souls of anyone who's died making their way to their final resting place in Chokdun. Iggy, you're the very first to notice this because you are quite familiar with how technicolor the world is, given your artistic ability. There is no color here. It does not exist. And the current, as you all descend, begs you to go further down. And it urges you to relax and just sink deeper and deeper and deeper into the world below. You all hear voices in your mind. Randir, you were the first to jump. And you hear in your head, "Who are you? Why are you on this path? Don't get lost, little dwarf. Don't get trapped again, deep, deep, deep underground." Make an insight check.
I was gonna say that there's a whole bunch of people hopefully following me. They'll be able to answer all your questions.
They'll be here any minute.
The
Insight
answer
check.
to what was I doing was a cannonball.
11. I got 11.
You know, as you enter the next realm, you've lost your proficiency.
Hey, so I get double. Okay.
All proficiency.
Yeah, you're no longer proficient as a person, as the concept of being trapped deep, deep underground sinks in. This is the place, unlike a cave, unlike a cave-in, you cannot escape the underworld.
So
That's not to say that you've lost it permanently, but temporarily, your proficiency is gone. I don't know how we're going to mechanically do this.
yeah, I was
using
gonna.
D&D, but I realized looking at my notes, it was the only thing I hadn't filled in yet, and I was like, "What the fuck can Randir lose?" I will say, actually, you know what's better? I'll do something on the fly here. You've lost expertise in you're probably no longer use your skill checks, only use your base stats. That's the best way to do it, right? So that's the simplest way. If I ask you to roll an insight check, instead of using insight, use wisdom.
So I
And
use
that
this.
is quite, now that I think of it, it's quite crippling. So
Yeah.
let's say
That's
only in
that's
strength
very
and
tough.
constitution.
Yeah, no
Because
reason for your
that's what
mind
it
to be
takes.
affected by the.
Yeah, exactly. It's strength and constitution. So if you're proficient in anything like athletics or acrobatics, or Con doesn't have one, that's gone. So your strength and constitution, we can now only ever use your base
Boy, I
score.
hope we're working our way down the stats with each person who passes through.
Yeah, I might ask you how that works. Just on a.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. I will full hands up. I looked at my thing. I said this to the guys before this stream. I was like, yeah, I wrote this like weeks ago. So I gave it a quick skim over, and I realized the only thing I hadn't written in was Randir's punishment, for lack of a better term.
Oh, great.
So let's just say you are no longer proficient in strength-based and constitution-based things.
Okay.
We'll figure it out. At the very least, it's better than disadvantage, right? Arlington, you were the second to jump. As you land, this current pulls you down, and you hear the voices say, "Who are you? And how will you ever find your way back? You dare do what no mortal has done before?
technically, I don't think I'm mortal.
Well, can I actually speak?
Yeah, you can speak. You can respond.
I mean, I'm more than a mortal. I'm Arlington, and I'm Iramon. We're stronger than anything you have met before, I think. Who are
Make
you?
a grapple check.
Ooh.
So I'll let you use athletics or acrobatics.
Yes.
I know what you're using.
21.
21.
Unnatural 21.
You feel like this voice, these souls, this plane tries to separate you and Aramon. And you hold on to him. He is not allowed to go anywhere while you're here. They try to separate the immortal part of you, and they do not grab purchase.
As I pull him back, Rod goes, buddy system.
Nice. A callback to Iggy's joke.
All heard because we made time to hear it.
Iggy and Huck, simultaneously, you hear, and if this was a podcast, I'd probably edit together correctly, but you both hear, who are you? Huck, you hear, who do you think you are? And Iggy, you hear, where do you think you're going?
Okay. Well, Huck answers immediately. Hiya, I'm Huck. Nice to meet you.
And they respond, Huck, why are you all alone?
Sure, I'm not alone. I got Iggy. I got all my mates here.
I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Sweet. Loads.
Is that
Oh, I
weird?
need to know. Yeah, I know your version of loads. It's
That was
above
the
15,
DC.
right?
It's 19 I got.
Yeah, loads. They were trying to weigh you down with a sense of loneliness you haven't experienced since you entered the material plane. You only ever knew that in your childhood, and they tried to make you feel that way again and exhaust you with it, but you shake it off because you rightly are holding Iggy's hand.
Yes,
Iggy.
gunners. Sorry. Yep.
You hear them say, don't turn yourself around now, chicken. And I need you to make a survival check
Okay.
as the waters around you begin to spin and swirl and whirlwind.
I'm just really not there. And well, I wanted to reply to when I said the "Who are you?" I was I able to respond?
Yeah, absolutely.
I got a 21 survival check, and
Nice.
I am like while kind of white knuckling it and just posturing someone. I'm going to say I'm your worst nightmare. I'm here. It makes me a nightmare for someone like you, essentially. No, something along those lines. I'm going to say, you said, where are you going? I'm going to say, as far as I need to destroy you. But I'm whispering a little bit, probably, as I say.
Nice. Yeah. You get the feeling that they were trying to damage you in your very soul.
Ha! I don't have one.
Exactly. You are invulnerable to this damage. Before we continue, remind me, Arlington and Huck, you gave your name.
I gave both my names.
I didn't.
You said,
No, sorry.
Hiya.
I didn't give both my names. I gave my name. I said, hi, I'm Huck. Definitely. I can't. That's 100%.
Good to know.
But I didn't give my real name.
Yeah, but I don't even know your real name.
Yeah. I'm just saying, as a fae, I'm not going around just giving my name to random disembodied voices in the underworld.
Yeah. Little do they know, it's Puck. Fair.
Our branding.
Rebrand all those fucking jackets.
Yeah. Puck's Punks.
Pugs hunks. It doesn't even roll off the tongue properly.
Nicely pointed out. I will scratch your name off my list of people who have given their names.
Yeah.
So
You start to feel collectively like you're drowning. The pool is urging you to surrender. What do you do?
Not drown. I mean, is there a light? Is there any direction? Are we flowing in a way?
Down.
Down's
Down.
fine.
Can
Can we
We
speed
go-
up?
Go with it, right?
Yeah, can we speed up
go
the
with it
flow?
if you want.
Can I?
Yeah,
I
you
want
can speed
to
up.
swim into it.
I'll
into
get
it.
closer to Iggy so that we can if we can embrace one another, then we can shoot down like a torpedo.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to let go and let it go to wherever as deep as we're going here.
Rander?
Randir's going to remember a fortune that he had. And it says, when light is dying, look to what ails you. And he's going to take out the flask of Dying Light Ale and take a drink of it.
In the water.
Okay. Yeah, you ever have a shower beer?
Yeah, but not a shower bath under the water.
Underwater bath, there's no bath.
The real trick, as we all know, is to eat an orange in the shower.
We might hang on. We might not be drowned, really. You know, we're in the Otherworld.
Okay.
Hey,
Arlington,
just remember a fortune.
you continue further down. Huck, you continue.
Am I able to actually swim in this stuff? Am I actually speeding up a little bit?
Yeah. As you swim and as you speed up, you feel the life drain from your body. And that's the same for Huck, and that is the same for Iggy. Randir, while you drink this ale, are you going up or down?
I guess I was going up. I guess I would be trying to also fight the current.
Nice. You take 6 damage.
Okay.
Ha! You're the first to jump in, and then you try to swim back up to the top. You prick.
But
You just want
the
to.
moment you take that drink, you heal for 20. That will probably put you over your max.
Yes.
So add it as temporary hit points.
Okay.
I'm waiting for the butt here.
You know what? You continue drinking, and you continue swimming up. And you swim up, and the currents turn you around, and they keep trying to pull you down and down and down. And the voice in your head continues. You can't escape. There is no escape. Give in. And you fight, and you keep fighting, and you push against the Dylan Thomas dying of the light. You rage as much as you can, and you submerge, but not from the top of the pool you plunged into. You submerge from a pool set in a long corridor, and Huck's punks pull up around you. You have bolstered yourself against the underworld. What we were talking about earlier is gone. Don't worry about that thing we spent ages on about proficiencies and strength and stuff. But more so than that, you feel like there is a golden protective cage around you here. Like, you can walk here the way gods might walk here. You're fine. The underworld fills with color. And you don't know why. But you feel good about it. The intelligence that you were stripped away, that's back.
Oh, cool.
You are here on behalf of the Morrigan. You are a paragon of death, and nothing dies until you decide.
Oh.
Because
your biceps are huge as well.
Yeah.
In your darkest hour, you looked to the light.
Okay. Interested to see what happens to me now.
Everyone else, you have accepted death.
Yeah.
I ran headfirst into death.
I thought I was just trying to get to the other end of the old pool of water.
Yeah,
To
honestly,
be fair, none of you else had fortunes specifically warning you against something, which as a DM,
I'm not upset by how the cards have landed here. I just think it's funny.
Yeah. That's fine.
my friends jumped off the cliff, and what was I supposed to do then? Not?
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, I think it's all really Randir's fault for jumping in straight away and then swimming.
Let's find out what's happening.
You emerge from this pool in a long corridor. You see greys and blacks and whites and this little tint of blue stretch. It is odd because you are in an enclosed space. You are in a corridor, yet simultaneously you feel like you're outside. This is like an open world space. But it's like the light ends at a certain point and just directs you down this path. It's like all you can see is a corridor. You know there's open air beyond, but you don't know if you step into that what will happen, because it's a vacuum. Emerging from the water alongside you, you see bodies and shapes and shadows, and they're marching forward towards something. And it catches your eye and it leads you on this path, and you see in front of you a small thatched cottage with a very small garden with white hawthorn surrounding it. This is, and you all know it to be true because somewhere along this dive you learnt it, this is the House of Dun. This is Chuck Dun, the entrance to the Otherworld. Anyone familiar with your sort of Dragon Ball Z sort of stuff? This is your stamp, go this way, go that way kind of entrance place. It's your terminal for where the souls go, straight to the gods, into the mortals. Did you suck in life? Well, toil away for a while. All of you, except for Randir, feel the pull to march forward, but you do not have to. It's like, the exit's there, but I can stop at the gift shop, right?
I'm going to look around to see if I can see Randir, because surely he should have come out ahead of us.
Yeah, he's there.
Okay.
Doesn't look any different. You feel different, Randir, obviously, but
Yeah.
you don't look any different.
Okay, so he arrived in the same place that we arrived. That's good.
Yeah, you're all arrived to the same place. Almost.
Are there any other physical bodies, or is it just us and some souls and shit?
Soul shapes, like some of them are your very classic, like little wisps, and some of them are like you're a bit more like drippy, droopy, like people.
Is there anyone we recognize coming out?
Make a perception check.
Can I slap Randir?
Yeah.
See if we're corporeal.
Yeah, you make contact.
Sweet.
You are corporeal.
I got an 11.
Do I get hurt from the slap?
No, you're fine.
I actually meant to say Arlington, but then said Randir, so it's gonna have to.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
No one you recognize, Iggy. But it does seem like ever since the roads opened back up, like you don't know the general, speed of hell.
Mm-hmm.
But like, do these many people die this quickly? Like, there's a lot of people. It's a pretty busy thoroughfare of like souls into the underworld. And maybe it's a big continent you live on. Maybe this is the death per second per everything. But it's a lot. Like, a lot of people seem to be heading out there. Now that the roles are built and adventures are happening and like, other DMs are running other level 1 parties and they're getting TPK'd straight away because they don't know how to balance the system. All that kind of stuff could be happening out there in the world.
Yeah. Okay.
I say that only for flavor. Do not worry about the amount of people dying in this world. That is only just to imply it's a busier Hibernia than you're used to.
That is not what I took that to mean at all. I thought it was like, shit, now we've got this to deal with.
No. It's just, it used to be isolationist and people lived a very happy-go-lucky, peaceful life, and now people are going out there. But like, the more people out there, more people die. Very simple formula.
Okay. So what else there's in this corridor other than the thatched cottage? Like, can we walk on the corridor? Is it in a way like the?
Wait, so sorry. So is the thatched cottage down the end of this corridor, or is it off the corridor? Yeah, okay.
No, it's not like it's a corridor in the same way that like a travelator, the escalators that only stick on the ground, the airport kind of stuff, just lead you toward a place.
Right,
Okay.
a path.
Okay.
Yeah, but like a path that that automatically
traveling.
moves.
A moving.
Yeah, travelator. Yeah.
Oh, it's moving.
Yeah.
Only it's not moving. It's just the impression of all these people moving forward. They're not like they're ghosts, so they're floating. So they're travelating along.
We have a certain measure of willpower, but we're being drawn in one set path.
Yeah, like a very slow tractor beam for you, but faster tractor beam for every incorporeal thing that has died. You're a little bit different because you're the protagonist of this story.
I don't know about you guys, but I feel great down here.
It's a bit dark. It's a fit, I don't feel great.
I didn't enjoy succumbing to death, actually.
It was unpleasant.
And that's not what everyone says. They always say best part of your life.
Yeah, drowning, right? Oh.
Sorry, I've just forgotten. I need to DM all of your life from the moment of as it flashes before your eyes. I need to spend another 10 years DMing individually all of your lives as it flashes before your eyes.
Yeah.
And if you ever roll a natural 20, you might get an idea of how to, you might get some useful information on how to fix this.
Can I?
Yeah.
I think that possibly Iggy pictured when it was flashing. I think she pictured Kieran Anderson.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think that if ever there was, a moment, it was interesting that he flashed in there. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Weird. What did I think of you in that last little moment?
Yeah.
Especially as you were holding Hux.
Nice. Okay.
But
What a burn.
I suppose
I'm loath to use the term, but I absolutely ship your Iggy and Kieran.
Yeah.
Want that to happen.
Well, I think that was interesting. Anyway, yeah.
An awakening.
Yeah.
It only took me dying to realize that I care for you.
Yeah, exactly. What really matters isn't my stupid pen and all the lives in it. Everyone's going this way, guys. Shall we?
We've come this far. Let's go a little further.
Should we sort of pretend to be souls and see what happens?
Do we look like ourselves, do we?
Yeah, you look like yourselves.
Could we make ourselves look like globby souls?
I don't know if we want anyone to think we're any old soul. I mean, we're here on behalf of the Morrigan. We probably want to command a bit of respect if we can.
Oh yes, okay.
But I like where your head's at. Going in incognito is probably a good backup plan. Or if we could, I don't know where we'd go if we need to escape. There's not really anywhere to go.
Yes, honestly, this plan seems kind of I don't know how we're gonna ever escape from here. So
I mean, it occurred to me while we were plummeting to our death through the area that if the Moor Demon is siphoning off dead people, surely he'd be somewhere in the middle there, rather than at the end. But sure, let's go.
I would think he's here to consume the souls, but you're right. That's an interesting point. We should probably check out that quaint little cottage and see if there's any more information to be gained, because I believe technically we're not actually in hell yet. From my understanding, that's sort of the foyer.
We're still in the admin stage, I assume.
I see. Well, we have to check in there, obviously.
Yeah.
Does everyone have their fantasy passports?
Iggy, can you draw us?
Hear the sweet desert rock tones of the Eagles play Hotel California as you realize you can check in, but you can never leave.
Okay. With that in mind,
Puck, as you have the thought of where is the Moor Demon, getting some cream off the top, and you make your way towards the house, you do see an afterburn of light peeling off from the trail of bodies and flowing towards a sort of, as you get to this point in the corridor, what looks like a forest deeper into the woods.
Oh, as in a different direction to the cottage.
Yeah. There's this corridor that goes this way, and then just before the cottage, an afterburn peeling off.
Oh, interesting. Let's go the road less taken.
that does seem more likely. Sure, I'm gonna tentatively go there. Can
an old halfling poem about taking the road less taken. It was a better idea in the end, I believe.
You should write
he
that.
He was a snow halfling, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Are any of the gloopy souls heading down the forest path, or are they all heading to Chalkdon?
None of these ones. It's almost like your unique situation clues you into seeing a sort of different trail. But there hasn't been, question asked, Has anyone dropped off the cliffs of an eyeglass since you got here? No. So there's no one siphoning off to the right.
I'm gonna like elbow Iggy in the ribs.
Should we head down that way? It's sort of a little. Do you reckon we should follow the crowd, or should we? I mean, you can see this little.
Yeah, no,
offshoot.
probably. If I know anything about the Moor Demon, he does love just dragging people off, kind of into the woods, etc. And yeah, let's I suppose wander this way.
Come along, everyone. We're going this way into the woods. The spirit woods of hell.
Sounds
I
like
We
a
should
wonder-
link arms and skip down this terrifying road to hell.
Just before you peel off into the side chamber of the entrance of hell, you see a little bit of, this is just around here, everyone else has gone that way. You see a little bit of disruption coming the opposite direction, and you see above the kind of pile of souls, this sort of like hustle and bustle and something, and you hear someone go, my cousin's over. He owes me money. My cousin, he's finally made it. My cousin, it's Randy. It's your cousin. He's trying. He's just this dwarf trying to get out of the way. He owes me coin. I knew he'd come someday. And he's rapidly bustling towards you.
Friend of you, this is the. You mentioned this fellow actually. Should we go say hello?
Do I have spirit coin?
You do not have spirit coin. You do not know the currency of hell.
Yeah, I guess I'll... No, actually, I'll get him on the way back, it'll be fine.
We should probably go quickly then.
Brander, where are you going? It's this way. What if they ask for you?
I'll get you on the way back. I just gotta go over here.
Will I get them to cross your name off the list?
I have no idea what list you're talking about. Don't cross anything off any list.
Okay.
There's a big list of life.
The book of people who have lived crossed off into the book of people who died. Yeah. And in it, you can find all your stats, your afterlife wrapped, so to speak.
Yeah.
Well,
All right, that's good.
Arlington, remember that's canon, because now you have a book about books. You can just find that book through your big book.
Son of a bitch. Yeah, you peel off. You dip into the side path. Randy, your cousin. I'll wait for you here. You dip into the side path into an overgrown tunnel leading you deeper into this forest. As you step in, the last of you to step forward, the light, what little light there is, closes around you, blocking your way back. You see the kind of little pin pricks of light getting through the gaps in these trees. And as you look closer, you realize these are not trees. You can see little hairs along arms, sort of pointing up with goosebumps. You see limbs, you see bodies. You are in a tunnel of people. And with every step in, they close in around you, pushing you forward.
Ooh.
Iggy, you hear the Moor Demon call to you. Yes, closer. Why don't we settle this once and for all?
That's sort of the point, yes.
You emerge in a very large cavernous clearing, and you can see that all around you there are bodies and wriggling limbs sort of making up the perimeter of this, for lack of a better term, lair. And floating very high in the center of this cavern. And just as I say this, I realized I forgot to pick up some Graciosa, which I had last time and I drank because it's fucking delicious for this episode. But we all know what the can looks like. In the very center, stretching seemingly maybe like 200 feet across, that's what we're dealing with, like 200 feet diameter sort of circle. That's for tactical reasons, that will come clear later. Floating high in the very center of this, feeding off this blue wispy energy that clings to your feet and flows up towards them, is the Moor Demon Graciosa. You've seen this demon in your dreams. You've seen his twirling and swirling and snaky stalks, and the thing before you is not that. It almost looks like it's steaming, like it's letting off sort of pockets of gas, and this blue mist is just sort of keeping it inflated. And you look closer and you can see that the skin is sagging off its body. You see an exposed section of its skull and a jaw that hangs loose. There are no stalks, but floating orbs. Huck, Arlington, maybe Randir. This beholder is on the cusp of lichdom. Its large eye turns towards you, and you feel an oppressive, both, negative energy wash over you, and behind it, a creeping sense of hopelessness. And at that exact same moment, all the bodies along all the walls, all the undead, turn towards you too, and you feel thousands of eyes boring to you, staring down and following you everywhere. And as the beholder speaks, all the bodies speak. In 1,000 voices, you hear them say, "Fools, what power have you here? This is my domain. I have conquered death, and I am its tyrant." And if this wasn't the end of the stream, that's where we'd be rolling for initiative. But it is. It's the end of our last stream of the year as you step into this lair for the Moor Demon. Next time on Homebrew, we will be seeing if the party survive. Because if they don't, my 2022 opens wide up.
Yeah, I mean,
Becomes a revenge story with my son, Darlington.
Do we get to do one-liners?
My boy.
That's the perfect name for your child.
Yeah. We got to find out if he leaves his mom's basement. You know, who knows?
Yeah, I'm already invested in this character. Arlington's dead to me.
Darlington is dead. Long live Darlington. We will be back in 2022, which, give or take, is about 4 weeks from now. Now, if you're watching this VOD within that time period, January 4th will be our next stream, but we will not be picking up this fight. We'll be doing something completely different. It's a little bit of surprise, and I think you're going to enjoy it. But then after that, we'll kick right into this beholder fight, or as suggested by our lovely people on social, by Dave from Penny Dragon Games, beer holder.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was right there.
Yeah.
It was right there the whole time, and I kicked myself hard when I saw it. I was like, "Ugh, you idiot!" We'll be back in about 4 weeks' time. Enjoy your break. There are plenty of episodes to catch up on. If you haven't, please do. If you have, please tell a friend. Please do like and subscribe the video below. Leave comments. Do all the engagement things. Even if it's just like, cool app, guys. Engagement fools robots.
Can I ask also if you have any ideas of like what we should do? Like, please.
That'd be great.
I would really appreciate that because now
We have a Discord.
What?
How? Jump in the Discord. Tell the party how to win.
Yeah, please tell us how to win.
Oh, actually, yeah. I think it's a good idea to ask for advice for that, because if anyone could suggest what a barbarian who has lost his main weapon could do when fighting a demon in hell, open to suggestions there specifically.
Well, you've got an incredibly dangerous rage potion, so that helps.
Yeah, I'm just suggestions. I've got a D6.
Arlington, do you have any other weapons?
I have one javelin left in my blow darts.
You have your long axe with the like nunchucky chain, right?
I'm gonna fucking Gatling gun this motherfucker with those poison darts.
Okay.
That's my leading strategy. But would appreciate advice over the Christmas break as well.
Randir might have something for you.
Ooh, nice.
Punks, both the punks on the stream and the punks who enjoy the show. You have 6 weeks to find beer, alcohol, drinks, anything that can help this party. Because if you mention it in chat, we will most likely use it. So if you have anything that's like kill a beholder, I'm fucked.
That would be great.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. If any of you could make a beer,
for instance, and can like in 6 weeks maybe turn around a new beer and branding code that'd be great.
Yeah.
We will pick up in 4 weeks' time for a special episode, in 6 weeks' time with this battle. But before we end the stream proper, Paul, this isn't your last stream of the year. You have a Heroes Out coming up. No? Yes?
Yeah, we have Heroes Out streams coming up until the end of the year. So we have 2 pre-records just around Christmas and New Year's, and then the rest are all still going on. This one's about Disney Plus's kind of hidden gems and recommendations, especially for the New Year coming up, or for the Christmas period. So.
If it's any indication versus this stream, Heroes Out know how to make content. They know how to talk about entertainment. They plan ahead. We don't. So they will keep serving you up delicious stuff all through the year. You never get a break because, hey, Golden Era content, it don't stop. Paul, you've got to task it out to you. You know, I don't envy you talking about everything that's happening all the time. But I do appreciate that I get to enjoy it, because you'll often find me in chat there. Is it time for an Until Then? I think it is, unless there's anything else to call out. If you're feeling particularly giving, we have a Ko-fi account. Now, I know that sounds really obnoxious and selfish. We don't use that money. We give it to an organization called Maasai. They're the Movement of Asylum Seekers in Ireland. Anything the show makes, we give it straight to that organization, because we truly believe that direct provision should be ended. There was recent news. It seems like it's on its way. We're no longer going to have our generation's greatest shame on our shoulders. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, please look it up. So if you do feel like donating, that would be fantastic. But also, I realize this is the time of year where your family and friends are probably taking most of your money, so do not feel obligated by any means necessary. We'll be back in 4 weeks' time. We're going to have a great, joyous time. I will get you all, you players, your months.
Very exciting.
And until then, look after yourselves, especially this time of year, which is full of marketing joy and fake positivity. It's not always that great. Look after yourselves. Be sound. Good night. And joy be with you all.
Happy holiday.
Bye. And thank you so much for watching.
Yeah.
This is the end. Sorry, that sounded like it was the end.
Even with the buffering.
Dum, 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 dum.